Recently I went through a tutorial on how to kind of modify search results, and I discovered that although there's a built-in search module with Drupal 8 that you can enable, it's still not 100% custom search. You can kind of create one with views like I have here, and it does a decent job. But the truth is, the search is still not really querying the content on your Drupal site as thorough as it could be. So we're going to look at what's called Search API. And it used to be two separate modules here. There was Search API and Search API Database, but during the project they said, nope, we're going to put it into one, at least in the case for Drupal 8. And there is more to go beyond this, but we're going to cover just the basis. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Extend. And I already did this step, but if you don't know how, and what you see here is what's called module filter. And is you right click the link, copy link address, and then you go through the install module process and then enable it. But it's going to error on me because I already technically have it enabled, or sorry, installed. Now one side note here, so as I search for the search, I already have enabled Search API. The one thing is you want to uninstall this default search. So we go to uninstall because they can conflict. It'll cause site performance issues according to Drupal report. So we're going to go to install real quick, and depending on the speed of the website. Okay, so now we're going to checkbox and uninstall. And it gives you this, in which case I'm going to say yes. Alright, so now we're going to make sure search a, oops, I'm under the wrong spot list. I do kind of wish there was a button just on this previous screen. Somehow uninstall, click, and it does it. But anyways, that's me. Search. And so this already apparently did. So I check, you want to check box the Search API. Database search defaults helps in this process quite frankly. And the database search. And then you click install and wait again. Alright, so those are now installed. So where we go from here is we go to configuration and ignore that. Come down here, and if you have a long list of configurations, just do a browser search. There we go, Search API. I want to click on that, and it creates, oops, somehow it creates two things. It creates a database server, and then it creates an index to that server. It somehow didn't connect it to, but we'll connect it here in a moment. So here we have this database server we're going to look at. Actually, it's best to click Edit, the Edit tab right here. And so there's the name, that it's enabled, some sort of description to help you. This way, if you have more than one running on your site for some reason. And then minimum word length. Because there's advanced features, be careful, because on large sites this will drag it a little bit more. You probably want something like Apache Solar for that. And so because this one is not attached, we're going to edit this content index. And as we go through, there's a lot you could tell this to index. Comments, content message, it really depends on the site. Here I have a lot of different things running on this site, but I'm going to leave it to content. And here, because I didn't catch it, so we're going to collect database server. And there's even more here. You could tell it to search everything except whatever you choose down here. Or in the term of bundles, actually I'm just going to leave it all. Although in this site, the only thing that really has honest content is video until I build some lessons. But that's a project thing. And down here in index options, there's some more options here where you can say I want it to actually index immediately. There's a read-only, which I'm not sure about, so there's probably more information in the documentation here on the Search API project page. But I'm going to move on from now. Click Save. And that looks about right. Another thing you can do is there's this Fields tab, and this is pretty, like, I mean, stellar. You can customize this thing like crazy. I'm not joking. Search the rendered item, the title, when it was authored on, changed, published, so forth. Whatever you want available to be indexed, you can go through, add the fields, and do that, which is really cool. Giving people really fine-tuned search experience. I've used WordPress for a long time, and even getting this on WordPress is a bit of a pain. So the fact that I could use something like this on Drupal and tell it, hey, this is how my search works, is actually pretty awesome. So to make sure it's actually indexing, is I need to enable it. And now it's going to come up with a screen, in which case it just tells me one more time kind of how it's all set up. And we do tracked. For some reason it didn't do tracking, so we're going to give it a moment. There we go. Now it's tracking. Now we do index depending on how many items is being on the site. 50 is good. If you increase this number, sometimes on some hosts it'll trigger as a DDoS attack, so you want to keep the item query batches as low as possible. Here I have over 1,000 videos, so this is going to take a moment. Now that's complete. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the views that outputs the results of this custom search now. So we go to Structure, down to Views, and I'm going to make sure, because I know I had another search thing going on here before. I'm going to leave those. So I'm going to create a new view. That's because I used the default search before, and just going to call it search. And watch, just for fun. Okay. And so here's the critical part. We go to the views show, this view show. Don't know why I say showing. And index default content index. It has a weird naming scheme, but that was the name that I called it. And it's should be working. Create page and save and edit. Oh. It's supposed to switch. It's not supposed to show of type. It's supposed to show something else. Be right back. So what I had to do is I had to go through and make sure I completely uninstalled all the search all the way and then reinstall it. And so now we're going to continue because I just did a visual test and it looks like it's going to work. And so we do an add view, and what you're supposed to see this time is we're going to do just call it search because I did clear it up. Search 2 in case. And when you choose index default content index, you should only see this sorted by unsorted, nothing else, or else it does break. And I'll just keep the path that for now and save and edit. Again, customized for your site needs. So now we're finally at this step. So here's where you can customize the layout. So here we have title, and I don't really have body, but I have videos. So I'm going to do, oh, maybe it doesn't do that. Depending on how your content works. So you want to do content data source, and this is where choosing the fields helps. So as I go down, there's my video embed, so I can do that. And you know what, for now that's okay. This is just for testing purposes. And so we want to do filter and there's full text. This way it goes through both titles, body, everything you set up in the fields area. So you expose this so people can use it, and of course call it something user friendly, so like search and apply. And let's just look at my notes. And the other one is setting it so it's just stuff that's published. Sorry, they move things around in publishing status. Just helps, that way you know you're only grabbing ones that are public, so true, and this one doesn't need to be exposed unless it's for administration. And then for sort, you want to use something like relevance. That way it's what they're looking for, and descending, and then apply. On over here, we want to do is expose the form, say yes, and settings, make sure it says search. If you want to allow people to sort, you could leave that checked, and then for no results behavior, some sort of text. Or whatever you want to use. So we'll just do, sorry, nothing here. Try again, insert 25 cents. Ha ha ha. Okay, anyways. And then save. Now, since I've exposed it to block, I would want to place it somewhere, so we're going to do structure and block layout. And then because I'm using Bootstrap, I'll just put it in the top bar area. That way it's pretty obvious where it is. So search underscore page 2, place block. And because and we don't need to show the title. And because I have this other one here, I want to make that one disappear from a previous search function I created. And there we go. So now if I go to my website, to the front end of this, as soon as it loads, now here's my little new search bar. So I'm going to try this since I know the science pages. Oh wait, it somehow loaded a preloaded. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to try it here, and it should pull up. Insert 25 cents. Okay, so maybe art. So right now what it's doing is, I think it's more searching the titles. Oh, because I had to reinstall the modules, I forgot to tell it to index. So if you're not seeing the search results, come back to here, and go back to your index, and tell it to index. There we go. Or else it's going to wait till whenever you do cron again. So now we're going to wait. So now with that index, I should actually see search results. So I'm going to go back to my site, which takes it back to where I was. And if it doesn't work after this, I'm going to have to see why. There we go. And so here's all the videos with the dog. Now, because this is searching literally the title, and these videos don't do descriptions, this will make this search very hard. I will probably have, in my case, I will have to extend it so it actually looks at keywords as well, because I do know, yeah, so like there is art. But you get the idea. So if I do budget, oh, it didn't even pull up. It's going to be very meticulous. I guess I could search the letter B and be more specific. And the neat thing about this, oh, there it is, the quick edit. I can edit this view and make it thematic, so I can make it fit whatever my theme is. In this case, I have Bootstrap, so I do grid because there's no Bootstrap grid yet. Automatic width because it messes it up. Uncheck those, and then it's 3, 6, 9, 12. So call Since it's 4 columns, call MD3. If you did 3 columns, call MD4 and then row. And then apply. And I want to rearrange this. And this title, sorry, I'm just applying quick styling. This way it looks pretty as we look at it. And remove default classes where I need to. Okay, save. Enough playing around. So there you go. Now it's a bit prettier, and it works. I think it's pretty stellar. The search API. I believe on the last release they did release notes on that was a bit cautionary. I think they're getting close. So like they're saying, while there's no major bugs at the moment, it's not completely stable and should only be used with great care in production environment. So they're still working out some kinks. There could be some changes, but I've been loving the changes so far, especially the new fields interface, everything. I would really take some time, look at this today. I think it's a really good game changer for Drupal Search API, especially since you can really customize this according to whatever client or site building needs you have. So thank you for watching. Please like this video if it's on YouTube, subscribe, share. Thanks again. Have a good day.